Hello, everyone. Hi. Sorry about that. As I was logging in and ready to go ahead of time, my computer just logged off. I have no idea. Clicked on some links, and next thing you know, I was off. Sorry about that. So I am here, and I did enable the Q&A app this time. So hopefully, you guys can see that. And you're able to ask questions. Of course, you can indeed ask questions uh, on the side. I'm sorry, this thing is just not playing nicely with me tonight. Hold on. There. Of course, you can ask questions right there where you are. Put them in all caps. Hi, Mary. Hi, Cheryl. Hello, Kamara, Barb. Hi, everyone. I am going to get started. Arnett, I am going right now. You guys should see me. I see that Arnett said she can't find it. If someone can help her, you can also go to my YouTube page. It should be there as well. Okay. I am just about ready to get started. And I hope that everyone is here in the room with me because, of course, with this, since I'm not putting people in the Hangout, I probably should. It should be fun to have people in the Hangout. And then that way I would be able to chat with you. So anyway, tonight we are following Journal 52 as we do always. In Journal 52 this week, the prompt is newspaper. So we're going to use newspaper to create our page tonight. So I hope that you have some newspaper at hand nearby. And we're going to get started. All right. So anyway, I'm going to switch my camera angle here, and we're going to play with newspaper. Hey! You don't want to watch the top of my head. That's a page I created earlier today, which was quite a test of my will and patience. Anyway, turning the page in my journal so that we can get started. I hope that you've got your newspaper. I hope that you visited my blog and you got the color palette, which I have here. For me, I don't always have the exact colors as in the color palette, so I just use what I have on hand. So for me, I'm using saffron yellow, berry red, black plum, turquoise blue, yellow green, and I'm going to use some zinc, which I will lighten up a bit. These are the colors that I'll be using tonight. I use the Deco Art Americana most often, so that's what I'm using tonight. And this is funny because the way that the screen shows is the opposite of how I'm creating. That's interesting. So I don't get that. I wonder why the camera is doing that. And it's not like I can turn the camera around. Excuse me. Alright. Well, I did it. So there. Hopefully that works and makes more sense. Not sure why that happened. Sorry about this. Just trying to get it all together. Alright, that is better. Alright, now you'll be seeing me create as a, I don't know if that's right. I mean, was it the other one? I don't know. It's upside down. Let's see. I'm sorry. Maybe this is the right way. Something weird's going on. See, now these are my hands, but that's still upside down. So it's weird. I don't know why the camera's doing that. It's just my camera. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. This is opposite. Like, this is, my hand is on my left side, but you see it on the right side? I don't understand. I'm creating, this is the top of my pad. So maybe that's good because you guys will see it like that. Maybe that's how I've always been doing it. I have no idea. We're gonna just get started and we'll see what this ends up looking like. Alright, so first layer. I am actually looking for some words. So before you tear up your paper, I'm going to suggest that you look for some words that you want to use, because I'm going to use words from my paper for my title or quote. I think I'm going to use every and matters. My thought was every heart matters. I think I saw the word heart on the paper as well. So make sure that if you are going to use your newspaper and use words, that you have already taken the words off of the page, so that you don't use it for the other things that we're going to do. So excuse me while I look and okay, so maybe it's just me and my wonky. See, like this is upside down to me, but right side up to you when I'm looking at it. All right, I did have the word heart, but now I can't find it. Might just mean that I am going to write the word heart. So just flipping through, getting some words from my paper. Alright, not going to take much time doing this. Alright, well, I've got the every and the matters, and I guess that's all that really matters, and I will use my own handwriting, which I so often do anyway. All right, so for this first part, just like we did last time, I'm actually going to tear some strips, but this time I only want to cover a portion of my page. Last time we covered pretty much all of the page. This time I only want to cover half with newspaper. Of course, I will suggest you use um, some medium, matte medium, gel medium to adhere your newspaper. I'm just making a big old newspaper mess. And you know, we're going to paint over quite a bit of this, so you don't have to worry too much about the pictures unless you want that to show. If you're going to have your lettering and part of the newspaper show, then you want to pick stories that are uplifting, perhaps. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. I just use my fingers to add the medium on the back of my newspaper to adhere it. And as you're adhering this, you know, I'm never trying to be perfect with it. Some of the mistakes or the non-perfection make it really a great piece of art. A great page. That's the cool thing about art journaling. If you do feel like you've made an error, you can always cover something up, paint over it, adhere something on top of it. Just do something fun, whatever you like. All right, there we go. Of course, I always suggest that you have baby wipes on hand. See, that is backwards to me. This picture is backwards to me. And you guys say it's the right way to you? That's awesome. Kathy, make sure that you reply that you were going to attend. And then that should allow you to see it. Or that you are going to watch. Okay. So now I'm going to start adding color. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit of gesso. I use Liquitex. And I'm just going to put it directly on my page. I'm going to actually spritz it with water. And I'm going to use my brayer to spread. And I'm going to add a little more. Same process, little spritz of water. And as you can see, it's covering up my newspaper. Not completely, but enough. All right, and you know me, I like to dry a little bit in between each layer, unless I want my colors to blend. Okay, so I grabbed a styrofoam plate to actually put my colors on. I'm tearing it. That's the noise that you hear because it's kind of big. So I just wanted to be able to show it to you on screen. And I'm going to add a little bit of white to the plate because I want to lighten up my gray. And I hope I can use my white because it looks pretty caked. I never used this white, so there. And I really only want a dab of this gray. And I'm just grabbing a paintbrush to get just a dab of that gray and put it in, mix it in with the white, a little bit more, not too much because colors are very strong and they will make the white just the color, that color if you get too crazy with it. Okay, so now I'm going to take a paper towel, dip it in my light gray, and I'm going to pat it on. So now we're basically coloring our background. I guess I should have made more. That was not quite enough. So just mixing up and making gray again. Trying to get as much of it off my paintbrush as possible so that I can use some of it. And just tap your paper towel on your paper randomly around the page. You can fill up the whole thing if you like, or just a little. It's up to you. I'm going to add 2 more colors to this to create my perfect background for this journal page. Okay. I'm going to add some green, and this is yellow green. Same thing, just going to take my paper towel and dab it in the paint and then dab it on my page, just randomly. I know when I start moving fast, it makes the camera go blurry because it can't keep up, I guess, with my movement. All right, now I'm going to use some turquoise blue. Loving this, loving these colors together. Isn't that turning out to be pretty? Ooh, I think I'm going to add a tad more green. Again, just dip your paper towel in your paint and dab it on your page. And I've got both the green and blue on my palette, so it's picking up both of them, which is actually turning out to be kind of cool. Love that. Gorgeous background. Little bit of drying. So on my page, you can still see some of the newspaper, just little bits and pieces of it, which add interest to your background. And of course, it adds a bit of dimension. Now for this next part, I don't know how you're going to want to do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear out 3 hearts from my newspaper, 3 different sizes, one large and the other 2 a bit smaller. I'm going to paint those hearts. I'm going to crumple those hearts. You know I love crumpling. So that is what my next step is. I don't know if you want to paint your hearts first or paint them later. So all I do to make my hearts is I fold in half, and I don't fold it, just kind of fold it, just like when you were little, and then tear off a half a heart, which will of course end up being a whole heart. And you can always tear a little bit more if it isn't heart shaped enough for you or odd shaped or whatever. There. Okay, and now I want 2 smaller hearts. And it doesn't matter if your if your letters are going the right way or not, unless that matters to you. then by all means, make sure they go the same way. And have fun with your heart shapes. They don't have to be the same. They can be fat, they can be skinny, they can be big or small. So that's a weird heart. So I think I'll try to fix that one up a little bit. Okay, so I think out there, let me make sure I didn't lose my words. Alright, so I'm going to paint 3 different hearts, and here are the colors. I'm going to use berry red, saffron yellow, and black plum. I think I'll use berry red for my big one, and then I'll use the other colors on my smaller hearts. And I'm just going to paint them, dry them, and crumple them. And I'm going to paint and be daring right here on top of my page. And if I get a little bit of the color on the page, it's okay because it's part of the color palette, which basically means that it just will blend in with the whole design. Yes, we don't fret. Grabbing a couple of brushes to make this quick and easy for myself. Berry red. My first color. Of course, you always dip your paintbrush in water first, and then you can dab it on a paper towel before you start painting. Newspaper's pretty thin, so for the hearts, you might want to care what the stories are if you, unless you're going to put lots of layers on it, and I'm not going to put lots of layers of paint. And I didn't gesso them first, so the paint is not going to spread. It's going to soak in pretty much. And it's okay. Like, I'm not taking it to the edges. I'm trying not to just get tons of red on my background. I see that I've gotten a couple little spots, but again, that just adds to the beauty and it matches what I'm doing, so I don't fret. There. And I'm just going to keep moving through each heart. And then I will go back and I will dry them. And of course, if you want, you can absolutely put more than one layer of paint on your hearts. I'll let that be your choice, as is everything you do with your page, right? So are you guys excited about the new shows coming on? I'm not much of a TV person, so I can't say that I am very excited about anything, but I do know that there's this one show that I think it's probably already debuted. I've never watched it. Every time I think about it and every time I see the commercial, I just think, oh my God, that is just so absurd. That Jane the Virgin business, where her friend artificially inseminates her. I'm like, really? Would you just kill your friend? Would you sue your friend, kill your friend, sue the hospital? Would you just go absolutely berserk? And she says, I accidentally done it. I haven't watched that show. They keep saying on TV, they say it's really good, but that's their job. Um, it just is just the most ridiculous, ridiculous thing I've heard in a long time. So I do not know about that business. This one is very dark, so the coverage is really good. Alright, I'm going to do some drying. I was painting earlier today. I have painted quite a bit today. I finished the canvas. I did a painting. I finished one canvas, painted another canvas, and then I just did a painting, and now I'm doing painting an art journal page with you all today. I must say that my hands, which you may have noticed, have so much paint on them because I didn't do a very good job of cleaning them off from my last paint session. But I just realized that I'm wearing shorts and I have paint all on my legs. And I have paint on my arm that I didn't get off. I love painting and all of the mess that it makes. Just feels happy and creative, joyful. All right, I am gonna crumple. It's newspaper. It's thin. Be careful. Be careful as you uncrumple it, basically. We did this last week with our butterfly. Just ball it up and unfold. Okay. So for these two, for the red and the yellow, I'm actually going to ink it with black. And I've decided for this black plum, I'm going to use my white ink pad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges and take your ink pad and just go lightly over the top where those wrinkles and creases are, the ones that pop up. Your pad will only, the ink will only adhere to those raised parts. Again, remember this is fragile because it's newspaper. So be gentle as you go around inking the edges. That is beautiful. I love it. think I'm going to have to invite you guys to come into my hangout. And maybe it'll just be the first 10 people get to come in every week or something. Because I actually love the interaction that we had. So that's one of the things that I do miss from Spreecast. I just don't like that Spreecast takes your videos and keeps them, like stealing. And then you have to pay them. So this way, at least the replay is available on YouTube for everyone to see. But I do miss our interaction. I love that. Oh my God. That is just fabulous. Ugh. Alright, so I am grabbing my white pad. I'm going to do this one in white. Isn't that awesome? Ooh, I love it. I think since the edges are white, though, I will do that in black. Okay. Now you want to adhere them. And then we're going to make another fun element with our newspaper. And then we're going to add our title and we'll be done. So figure out how you want your hearts to go. If you want them to all be together. Or if they need to be apart. I kind of like that. So I think, which is a little different for me, so I think this is where I'm going to put my hearts. So I'm going to get out my trusty, trusty, it's not so dusty actually, gel medium, and I will use that to adhere my hearts. Again, just putting the gel on the back, quickly and easily. And you can let pieces stick up to add more dimension. Again, if you don't take it to the edges and you want to let some of that stick up, feel free. Again, adding more dimension to your page. I kind of wanted to do these with each other so that I'm adhering them the way that I want this to appear. I think that's about right. Alright, loving, loving, loving. So now for this next part, I'm going to suggest that you paint your newspaper first. I'm going to have you tear out 3 circles. Don't make them too big. Circles, we're going to make a flower. So 3 circles. and tear each circle smaller than the last. So it's 3 different sizes, each one smaller than the last. So you want to pick a color. Try picking a color from your background for your circles. So I'm going to do the turquoise color, and I'm just going to paint over part of my newspaper and use that. Okay. Just dipping my paintbrush in some water, making sure that the previous color is out. And you can decide if you want to have lots of coverage or not. Your newspaper showing through is kind of a cool thing. And I'm trying to make sure that I cover enough or paint enough of the newspaper to tear out my 3 circles. Again, the 3 circles are going to be 3 different sizes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at, I missed the Q&A thing. Sorry. All right, so now I'm sorry, you guys. I have just been like missing the whole Q&A thing. It was not open in my window, which is so much better because I can see everything that you all have been saying. So that's just funny to me because you guys have been talking. It can be the chat area. It's a question area, but it's a great place where I can chat with you and you can say things to me and I will read it. And if I'm responding to something that you say, I will select it and it will mark it on the video so and show it so then people will know what I'm responding to. Okay? So fine, that is wonderful. Use that area. That works for me. Um, Someone asked what color am I using, and I don't know if I'm going up or down. So all right, so I'm seeing where you guys all said it looks good to you, so I assume we're all good and that there aren't any questions on the table now. Somebody post just anything in the question. in the question and answer thing, because I don't know if new questions pop up at the bottom or the top. So I want to see where a new question comes in. Thank you. I love you for it. Anyway, this color currently I'm using is called turquoise blue. And it is awesome. I'm going to dry a little bit and then I'm going to tear. And as far as chatting is concerned, the only chat I know how to do is to put you all actually inside of the Hangout, which I'd be happy to do. I think you can have up to 15 people. So basically what I can do starting next week is I can add you, but once the first 15 people in, that would be it. And it may be 10 people. I just lost my own picture. There, that was weird. Thank you. Ugh, this thing is driving me crazy tonight. Pop. Thank you, Tina. All right, so now I'm just going to tear out the 3 circles. Trying not to make it super big. Just a circle. And of course, it does not have to be like a good circle. It could be all kind of crazy wonky like that. And if you're as bad at tearing circles as I am, you can always draw the circle on the page first. Because my circles are not quite circles, but it's going to work. You know, I saw a chat, but when I put that chat on, no one could chat with me. So, I just put the Q&A on. See, I have a group chat over here, but the group chat, nobody's there. And it's like only the people that are in the hangout can do it. Maria, that's funny. I know, but you know what? I actually like the wonkiness of these. I like, see, because it gives it this whole textured edge. It's jagged, it's funky, it's tattered. Okay, for your circles, I want you to crumple them up just like we crumpled up the hearts. I'm trying to make this one a little bit smaller. Crumple it up just like you did the hearts and ink it just like you did the hearts. Okay, and you're going to end up layering these. So make sure they're all good and crumply and inked up. Just drag it over the top as we did before. It will pick up the ink only on the creases. You can ink the edges as well. Again, be careful. It is newspaper, so it can tear easily. And although I used only one color for my circles, you could use 3 different color circles if you want, or put more than one color on your circle, which actually might be kind of fun. I'm going to take a little bit of green and put it on my plate and put it on my finger and add a little to my circles. And I'm adding it in different places. Trying to make this one just add sort of all over. Okay, so once you do that, if you stack these, you'll get a fun little funky looking flower, and put a big brad or flower or button in the center of your stacked circles. So I'm looking for something that I can add to mine that won't add too much dimension. I've got this cute one. I think I'm going to use that. It's not very big, but it's very cute. See, so I'll add that to the center, and it'll be a cute flower. And it's newspaper, so I'm thinking I can just stick this right through the center, and if not, yep. Now my flower is bigger than I wanted it to be. Now I was going to put it there, but now I'm going to trim off some of the edge. Because I need it to be just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to trim my second one. And then I'll take my ink back around it and add some ink to the edges. Oops. I think I got a little bit carried away with that tear. There, that's better because I kind of want to put my flower down here. And if I can't put my flower down there, that's okay. I can actually add it around my title as well. Okay, thank you, Kyla. That would be great. Oh, that would be fabulous. I love that because I have no idea how to do that without putting people in the Hangout or without excluding some people from the Hangout. Shall I say that? All right, people. Kyla's going to rescue me so that we can chat and create. And I really like that because that is part of the fun for me is being able to chat with you and see what you guys have to say and everything. So glad you're here and know that. All right, I'm trying to get my flower together. Ooh, look, I love that. It's going to go right there. Yes. And then I'm going to get my words. Every heart matters is what my page is going to say. And I am going to cut this time. And I'm going to cut the word matters from my newspaper and every from my newspaper. And my quote is just simply, every heart matters. Doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. Now the awesome thing would be is if I had red letters, but I have red paint and I know how to paint letters. I know how to write letters, so if I can write them, I can paint them. So I'm going to paint the word heart right here very carefully in red. Don't be scared. Don't be a scourge, y'all. Do it, do it, do it. You guys see my little shorts. I swear I have on shorts. My t-shirt is just long and covers them up. So I'm gonna paint the word heart and hope that I have given myself enough space. And I'm going lightly now, and of course you can go back over it to add more color. I'm going to dry that a little bit, and I'm going to go over it one more time. This was fun. I like this. You guys got to do lots with your newspaper. I hope that you tried everything. We use it in the background to add some texture and some depth to the background. We used it to make our hearts, which definitely added interest. Definitely some texture again. You used it to make your flower, and now we're using it as part of our title. So much you can do with paper, not just newspaper, any kind of paper. We could have done all of those things with paper. The only thing we might not get is words on the paper. Alright, gonna dry a little bit, then I'm gonna adhere my last little pieces. And I don't know if I want to add some doobly-doos or anything to the page. You'll see. Using some gel medium again to adhere my flower, and this time I am only going to put it in the center because I want my flower to pop off the page. And since it is there's a brad behind it, I'm holding it down a little bit longer than I normally would. Gel medium is a fabulous, fabulous adhesive. I've adhered buttons with it, metal with it, paper with it. Love that. Now I'm going to add my words, and I think I'll try to ink the edges. These pieces are pretty small, but I'm going to try it. And they're delicate. Gently inking the edge of my words. Little gel medium on the back to adhere it. And ta-da! I love this page. Now, the only thing that I could think that I might want to do is maybe ink the edges of the page. I think it looks pretty good right where it is, but I think I might add some little black to the edges. Thank you, Miss Tina. I am just responding to you. Um, Thank you so much. I'm glad that you like it. Honestly, I think this color combination is a favorite. I love it. I just love everything about it. It is awesome. The I don't know. I'm kind of with you. It's going on my list of favorites. Thank you so much. All right, inking the edges, just adding a little black, letting some of the black get on the page as well. I'm one of those people who, when I ink my edges, sometimes I want some of that black, and I think this pad is probably on its way out. Get on the page, and I might actually grab some black paint and add a little to my page. Love. I'm just going to use my finger. I'm just getting a little bit of black ink, which is just adding just a teeny bit of shadow, shading around the edges instead of getting black paint, because that'll make it really, really dark. But this just helps it to pop just a little bit more. All right, I hope that you guys created with me. I am definitely having a good time, or had a good time, because I'm just about done here. Um, and I love it. I love it. Definitely a fave. Give you a couple of close-ups. Love, 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 love. Ah, another happy night for me. Going to sign my name as I usually do. Need to stop with these pens because I keep holding on to pens. They don't all work. and I think they're downstairs. I've been drawing downstairs, so I think my pens are downstairs, so I have to sign it off camera. Anyway, I'm going to switch my camera angle so we can say good night. All right, ladies, thank you. Had an awesome time. Love the way that page turned out. Hope that you created with me and that you got a little messy with your fingers and your creating and that you made this art journal page with me. Again, our prompt was newspaper. We had a great time with newspaper. I will have this up on my blog tomorrow at tiaresmith.com. So the completed page will be there along with the supplies. Um, and I will be here again next week on September 24th doing another fun art journal page. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good night. Again, the rebroadcast will be available on YouTube, so you can look at this again if you need to or if you missed most of it. You are very, very welcome. Barbara, thank you so much for coming. I'll just put that on screen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just responding to Barbara, thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. I hope that you will join me next week. I hope that you all will join me next week. I had a fabulous time. And we'll get artsy and craftsy and fun next week. All right. Thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will also see you on Facebook. You can share your creation with me in the Art Party Wednesdays group, Art Party Wednesday with Tiare group. Um, it's a great group. We share our pages from tonight. My page will be put up tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Barb. Thanks, Barb. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed the page. Hope that you create and share with me in the group tomorrow as well. All right, people. Good night. See you next week. See you on Facebook. Visit the blog. Muchas, muchas sweet dreams. Bye.